This is the Old Musician's Blog 91 plus. Anyway, I was thinking about, that sense of apprehension that comes along sometimes, before a gig. And, I think maybe, it's because somewhere along the line I got this idea to throw myself into situations where I would get this direct confrontation with the unknown, in the sense that I would take on a job that was, beyond my ability to do, perhaps, so I'd have to learn a lot, so there was a lot of, pressure in the situation, like, or sometimes it'd be just a kind of a random thing, like, one day I'm sitting in my room in Sacramento, and the thought comes to my head, wow, I could go to the steps at the American River College there, and I could play before the people sitting there, because they're all sitting there, and maybe they would throw money at me. You never know. I mean, I wasn't very rich in those days, and anything helps. So, the next thing I know, I've got my guitar, which at that time was this old Alvarez guitar, which can't even remember how I got that guitar. Anyway, and the next thing I know, I'm there strapped onto that guitar, and I'm playing before the steps, and you can call it singing, but some people might call it howling at them, and out of that, this kind of act develops, where I have this kind of a baby pram, where I take out the workings, and I have this old doctor's bag, and inside I have my frying pan for panhandling, my ball peen hammer for making announcements, and my telephone, for talking to whoever might come into my head at the moment, and it's seems to be working in a way, and I go around, a quarter song or a quarter to move along, and next thing I know, I gotta give them a choice, what would you like, on the road, I don't remember the categories. I had some categories that I'd ask people if they wanted to play. And then I'd play them an original song, that I wrote, and because in those days I wrote a bunch of songs, and it was all good, but it was a confrontation. And it was a confrontation with the unknown that was interesting at some point, without necessarily being pleasurable or having a socially acceptable outcome. And for some reason, that even made it more interesting to me. So anyway, I just wanted to add that to my format of meta-personality memories.